New social forms have emerged as a result of the internet and the emergence of new media channels. In this way, conventional social movements and the internet have increasingly emerged to establish a new type of online social movement. The Jiangge case has become a typical example of an online movement, as it has rapidly attracted the continuous attention and social mobilization of netizens after being disseminated through online platforms. Let's first take a general look at the process of the case and the key points. On the 3rd of November 2016, the Chinese student was murdered in Japan, and the Japanese police subsequently identified the perpetrator as Chen Shifeng, the ex-boyfriend of Jiang Zhe's roommate, and on the 11th of December 2017, the case of the murdered Chinese student was heard in Tokyo, and Chen Shifeng was sentenced on the 20th of December he was sentenced to 20 years in prison. The peculiar thing about this case is that after the Jiangge case started to spread on the internet, netizens focused not on Chen Shifeng, the direct killer, but on Liu Xin, Jiang Zhe's roommate, and the question of whether Liu Xin deliberately closed the door to her room to cause her death. The case of Jiang Zhe's roommate, Liu Xin, and the question of whether Liu Xin deliberately closed the door to Jiang Zhe's room to cause her death were the focus of much discussion on the internet, and an online movement to seek justice for Jiangge and her mother began. When we refer to online movements, we have to associate them with a highly interactive social media which, in the present day, with a mobile phone in hand, means that internet users can also participate in a wide variety of social activities in the lightest possible way. Social media typifies the participatory culture, which Henry Jenkins sees as a fundamental feature of the contemporary media environment, in which people are no longer just on the receiving end of the communication process. Admittedly, it is very fair and transparent to allow the public to express their opinions at near zero cost through easy access to social media, but I cannot help but worry whether too much access to social media makes it too easy for people to become a disorganized group from different. When an individual is an isolated individual, he has his own distinctive individual characteristics, and when this person is integrated into the group, all his individuality will be submerged by the group, and his ideas are replaced by those of the group. If I were to look at this incident from a spectator's point of view, I would focus on the motives of the murderer and the impropriety of his actions, with little concern for whether or not the victim's flatmate was killed because the door was closed, because if one were to criticize rationally, it would be difficult to make the right choice when one is wrapped up in the emotions of nervousness and fear in a murder case. Even though it may have resulted in the victim's death, the fact that the door was not opened is far less worthy of criticism than the murderer's act of taking a life. There is a reason for this, because the netizens were not able to attack the murderer in a Japanese prison, and they were desperate to vent their emotions, express their opinions and form a united front about the incident, so they had to choose the victim's roommate as a scapegoat. So in this reckless and unjustified internet campaign, one has to reflect on the fact that sometimes it is too convenient and efficient to bring about the justice that people really expect.